Yo, what up? It's Paul Hickey on the Paul Hickey Podcast, episode 19, version 6 of Data Driven Daily. Data Driven Daily is when I do not have a guest that I'm interviewing. I just like to spit some game about some geeky stuff like Google Analytics, Google AdWords, Google Webmaster Tools, Facebook Business Manager, all things digital marketing, email marketing. Today's topic is bounce rate. It's bounce rate week on the podcast. It's bounce rate week everywhere for myself and my data-driven design team. We're going to break this down a little bit further. What is bounce rate? Bounce rate is a metric that Google Analytics created back in the day, 1 to 1.5 decades ago. And if you log into your Google Analytics account, you're going to see stats that look like the following: sessions, users, bounce rate, pages per session, average session duration. These are what we call traffic and engagement stats. The traffic stats are the sessions and the users. The engagement stats are the bounce rate, visit duration, pages per session. Why is bounce rate important? Well, if you look at it from a simple math perspective, you can have users, and users can have multiple sessions. And so I think people have a tendency to look at how many users do we have coming to our website. Well, if you have 100 users in a day, but your bounce rate is 90%, then really you only have 10 users on that day because 90% of your users bounced. So that should define bounce rate for you right there, and it should tell you that the lower the bounce rate, the better. Now, what it does not define is what exactly constitutes a bounce. Good question. Most people think that a bounce would occur when a web page loads and then the user clicks to another link, that's a bounce off of that page. No, that is incorrect, my friends. That is an engagement. If somebody scrolls or hovers or clicks anywhere, even if it's to an outbound link, that, my friends, is an engagement. It is not a bounce. A bounce occurs when a user X's out of the browser window after the page loads and does not engage in any way, shape, or form with the content on that page. It also can occur when the page loads and the user goes up into the URL address bar and just types in another website or makes another search and leaves that page. In short, a bounce is a horrible thing. Each page has its own bounce rate. Each referral source has its own bounce rate. Let me say that again. Each page on your website has its own bounce rate, and each referral source has its own bounce rate. Let me explain. You have an About Us page, a Contact Us page, a Services page, a Pricing page, a Home page, a Blog page, a News page, various different blog posts. Each of these pages has their own bounce rate. So if you wanted to see the best, just at a high level, the best performing pages on your site, you could go to Google Analytics, Audience, under Audience is Behavior, click on Behavior, then click on Top Pages. When you get to this report, you're going to see default your top 10 most trafficked pages on your website. You're going to want to scroll down to a drop-down menu, just say 500. Just go to 500. See the top 500 pages on your website. Even if you only have 5, it'll show you the top 5. It'll sort this by sessions. What you want to do is sort it by bounce rate. Sort it by the lowest bounce rate. These, my friends, are going to be your top performing pages. These are going to be the pages that you're going to want to model all content and design structure off of generally, and they're going to be the ones that you're going to want to send users to from a marketing campaign perspective because they're getting engaged with at the best rate. Now, this is a hard and fast rule that can differ based on a vertical by vertical basis. However, bounce rate is the stat that's going to be consistent across everything. It's going to be the apples to apples comparison. So, there's much more to dig into with bounce rate, but this is the basic overview of what it is and why it's important. You find it in Google Analytics. We also have some competitive analysis tools that can look at the bounce rate of sites that we do not have Google Analytics access to. Just remember also that bounce rate rate is a very, very smart indicator of how well your website is performing and how well it is likely to convert users. So in other words, if you have a contact form on your website, that's your main conversion, or if you're an e-commerce website, whatever your main conversion is on your website, the more you can do to lower the bounce rate on each page and from each referral source, the more your conversion rate will increase and you'll generate more leads. It's just simple math and simple common sense. Now there's a bunch of different things that we do at Data Driven Design and Snapshot Interactive and with our other agency partners to lower bounce rate. There's a bunch of different tools out there where we can dig into data and do this. We'll dive deeper into those tools, what they are, later, and on the blog, datadriven.design/blog. And check me out as well. Add me on Snapchat, datadrivendude, and on Instagram, datadrivendesign, for your data-driven daily tip. I'll talk about bounce rate all week, probably all year, probably forever. And I'll talk about other ways to lower the bounce rate in all of these outlets. I look forward to continuing our conversation. Thank you for listening. Thank you for your ear. I really appreciate it. This has been Data Driven Daily. I want everyone out there to have a great day.